Before the video actually starts, I'd just like to say I've got a new mic. It might sound better, it might sound worse, so just let me know in the comments how it sounds. If it's better, then I'll keep using this one. If it's worse, I'll just go back to my old mic. Okay, on with the video. Okay. I need to get this out of the way before I continue. I'm a huge 8th Doctor fan. Yes. I haven't heard much of his adventures, but the little that I have seen has turned me into a certified fanboy of his. Hell, I even really enjoyed the movie. It isn't that awful, guys. You're just really mean it. Please just give it another shot. It's really good. But I wanted to talk with you guys about another 8th Doctor adventure. One that I didn't even know existed for a long time because it wasn't widely talked about. The adventure in question isn't an audio or a book or even a comic. It's in the title. The Night of the Doctor. And this is why I think it's one of the best Who stories out there. Now, some context for those of you who have either A, only started Doctor Who in 2005 with Christopher Eccleston, or B, those of you who have never actually seen the show before. So, the show got cancelled in 1989 after some not so great episodes, leaving the current Doctor, Sylvester McCoy, just kinda stranded. His stories were kind of all wrapped up, but it was clear that there was still more stories to tell, not just with him, but in the show in general. But around about 7 years later, the execs over at the big old BBC developed a TV movie with the hopes of restarting the show. They shipped it over to an American production company to try and get that American interest in the show, because as we all know, if the Americans like something, it's certified to be on air for years and years and years to come. The thing was, Sylvester McCoy was a bit too old to continue playing the role of the titular Time Lord, so he had to regenerate. Unfortunate, but that's what comes with the show. In comes Paul McGann, the best Doctor of the classic era. Come at me, Tom Baker fanboys. Seriously, he's the best. He might actually be the best Doctor of all time. Anyway, the movie was a huge success and everyone loved it. Paul McGann was well regarded and the show was brought back on air for all to hear. Obviously that didn't happen. The movie flopped and everyone hated it. Well, apart from me for some weird reason. And once again, the show was dead. Well, that was until Russell T Davies rebooted the show in 2005 and made it into the pop culture icon it is today. The point is, Paul McGann was left in the dust. He lost his best shot at playing the Doctor. Until Big Finish came along, of course. You see, Big Finish make audio plays. They decided to do a Doctor Who range, which meant more Who content from all of our favourite Time Lords, including Paul McGann. Side note, everyone watching this, just please go and listen to Storm Morning. It's actually really good. Charlie and 8's relationship is so amazing, and it's on Spotify for free. Seriously, it's just like a few hours of your time. It's so good.
Does it matter?
Well, yes, my TARDIS got ejected as ballast, you see, and I need to triangulate its position. It's terribly difficult in the dark.
TARDIS?
Yes, my time and space machine disguised as a police box. Before you say it, yes, I know, it sounds incredible. So do you know where we're headed?
Karachi? Are you pulling my leg?
Okay, anyway, back to the video. So, A got a good few Big Finish stories, and they're all really worth a listen. But Paul always wanted to return to the show in a physical way. Then along came 2013, the 50th anniversary of the show. You see, showrunner Stephen Moffat wanted to tell a story where the Doctor reflected on the Time War, more specifically one where he reflected on the moment, pardon the pun, where he killed all of his people to end it. We knew fan favourite David Tennant was returning and Christopher Eccleston unfortunately wasn't. If they're going to do a Time War story, why not include 8, am I right? Unfortunately, McGann couldn't make the shoot due to scheduling conflicts, so they used John Hurt instead, creating the War Doctor, who by the way I would not trade in for anything. He is a perfect Doctor and one of my favourites. Rest in peace, John Hurt, we truly lost you too soon, you are one of the greats. Thing is, Paul McGann and Stephen Moffat did actually come to an agreement on something. It went a little bit something like this.
Hi Paul, can you make the special?
Sorry Steve, I've got shit going on.
Fuck you, die.
Alright. That didn't happen. Probably. Look, there really were scheduling conflicts which prevented Paul McGann from reprising his role in the special. But, and this is the important thing, he was able to do one episode. One small, mini episode that would only be available on the DVD extras. And BBC iPlayer. And then later YouTube. But that's not important. What's important is the man, the myth, the legend was back for one more night. The Night of the Doctor. Now, I'm going to try and not analyse this mini episode too much, but if you guys catch me doing that, you can spam the comments calling me a hack and a hypocrite who makes bad videos. Cool? Cool. Anyway, the whole point of this episode is to be the perfect prelude to the Day of the Doctor special. And, if you'll pardon my language here, it absolutely fucking succeeds. The plot, if you can call it a plot, is that the 8th Doctor is on the run from the Time War. He attempts to rescue Cass, a pilot in a crashing star cruiser. She's on board with this whole rescue attempt until she realises the Doctor is a Time Lord when he tries to take her to the TARDIS. We get this amazing dialogue exchange.
Oh, look on the bright side, I'm not a Dalek.
Who can tell the difference anymore?
Which, by the way, harkens back to what I was saying in my previous Doctor Who video. Link in the description, by the way. And then she locks him on the other side of the door, telling him to leave her to die, because she'd rather die than receive help from the Time Lord. The Doctor says he won't leave without her, and... but huzzah! The Doctor is alive. Kind of. Not really. You see, they crashed on Khan, where the sisterhood of Khan live. Well, duh, I didn't think they'd be living in a Tesco's car park. They tell the Doctor that he's going to die in 4 minutes, unless he drinks a concoction that will force him to regenerate, but he gets to choose. This is so interesting since the Doctor has never been able to choose his attributes before. Anyway, the sisterhood tell the Doctor that all of creation hangs in the balance and the only salvation will be the Doctor taking up arms and fighting in the Time War. He's hesitant until Cass's corpse is brought in. He realises the responsibility he has to take, so he asks to be a warrior. He drinks and regenerates into John Hurt. Okay, I know I said no analysis like a minute ago, but I just can't help myself. Look, the reason why I love this mini episode so much is the moral conflict it weighs on the Doctor. This is the first time he's taken up arms. Yes, there's been Genesis of the Daleks where the Doctor is tasked with destroying the Daleks before the creation.
Touch these two strands together, and the Daleks are finished. Have I that right? If someone who knew the future pointed out a child to you and told you that that child would grow up totally evil, to be a ruthless dictator who would destroy millions of lives, could you then kill that child?
But he can't do it. He still has some sense of morality that prevents him from destroying the space Nazis. But here, he's lost that. The Time War has took its toll on him and he's at his lowest. The death of this girl is on him because of what his people have done. He's responsible. The fate of the universe hangs on his shoulders because he's the only one with the will and the courage to do what must be done to stop the Time War. He's responsible, like Uncle Ben always says.
With great power comes great responsibility.
But there's a point, and I think it's just before the Doctor drinks the concoction. He says this.
Charlie, Carers, Lucy, Tamsin, Molly. Friends, companions I've known, I salute you. And Cass, I apologize.
Now, aside from the fact that my girls Charlie Pollard and Lucy Miller are now canon, thank you so much, Stephen Moffat, you don't know how much I appreciate that little nod. I kinda see this as McGann reconciling. He's officially given up. He knows that if he becomes the War Doctor, he'll no longer be the Doctor. He'll be a warrior, perhaps even a saviour, but he won't be the Doctor. That's why he acknowledges this incarnation's friends. He's almost apologising to them for what he's about to do, and it's really touching, at least to me. Then he speaks to Cass, the Doctor's final failure. He drinks and regenerates, his first words being,
Doctor no more.
The Doctor is dead, and a soldier stands in his wake. But here's the key thing, and I mean the thing that's key. The reason why I love this story and have it as my favourite Who story, it's not the fact that it's a neatly woven story, it's not that it's a neatly woven story expertly fitted into 6 minutes. It's the fact that it's an exceptionally neatly woven story that completely and utterly understands the character of the Doctor, that is expertly fitted into 6 minutes, and those 6 minutes focuses on an incarnation that I and most people didn't care for or know existed at the time of first viewing. The fact that this is my favourite Doctor Who story is astounding. We have masterpieces like Heaven Sent, The Zygon Inversion, Stolen Earth, Waters of Mars, and many, many more. But this fucking 6-minute story that's a fucking DVD extra is the best Doctor Who has to offer. If that's not insane, then I truly don't know what is. I genuinely believe that all Who fans need to see this. Hell, even if you've never seen the show, please hit this episode up. It's 6 minutes, you can find it on YouTube. At worst, you'll feel like you've wasted 6 minutes of your life. At best, you'll experience a spectacular story about a man giving up and losing who he is. Honestly, mad props to Moffat for making this. He didn't have to, and I appreciate seeing Paul McGann in live action again. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go watch the movie again. In all seriousness, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed watching me talk passionately about Doctor Who for a second time now. I'm going to try and vary my content from here on out because I don't want it to just be a Doctor Who channel, although I will still be making more Doctor Who videos in the future. I'm working on a few different projects at the moment and I don't know when they'll be ready, but I do have smaller videos planned in between my big, massively scripted videos. You might have seen one already if I actually get it done before writing the script. But yeah, that's just about it. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like and consider subscribing if you like what I'm talking about. Cheers for watching and have a nice day.